families, a man and a wife and kids at the trees, no sanitary condition, no toilets, and was struck as the ethos of this program that talks about having a sustainable ecosystem and environment and having a social impact to our societies. And I want to say our chief guest, that made a significant change in the banking industry in South Sudan, to go to the governor to plead for him to allow us to work on Saturday and Sunday so that we could give loans to the people who are employed in ministries just to ensure the citizens could get a decent shelter and not live at the trees just because of this program. I left South Sudan in 2011 and went to become the first MD for Equity Bank Rwanda. And again, between 2011 and 2015, a part of key things we did was the pillars that the foundation support: agriculture, financial inclusion, but inclusion with an impact. And I'm just highlighting a few of the things that we did. But then after that, I went to Uganda in 2016. I took over as the MD Equity Bank Uganda up to 2022. And our chief guest then, I think in my third year, Uganda wasn't profitable. But there was a lot of enthusiasm to see Equity Bank Uganda start the program of Wings to Fly. And last week, I was very excited when we were doing the airlift, and I think we had close to 120 kids going to being airlifted to universities. But among those, and Joanne can correct me, I think 3 years ago, we had the first airlift for you kids in Uganda, all the way from very rural villages coming through the program. So our chief guest, what I'm saying is, and the partners that we are with, this is a worth cause contributing. And it's not only for Kenya, but globally, because the people who are learning about what the foundation is doing in this program are many, but it has had impact in all those countries. Uganda, in the northern side area, it was an area that was characterized by war during the Kony area, the one that borders Sudan, and the kids we got were from those areas. And you can imagine part of what was going in their mind is how to convert those societies from war-torn areas through the program and through the education. So I want to appreciate our partners and to encourage to continue partnering with the bank. Thank you, and the foundation and our host. Thank you for giving us this facility to come, and may God bless you with all your staff. So we really appreciate that. So our chief guest also, we requested our management to come with us and not only maybe introduce them, but share a few of the wise words to our young ones. And it's exciting to see how we can shape the behavior of these young ones. And I know the theme for this year was more about innovation. And I would say this program has grown this way because of innovation. It has continued innovating each and every year. I'll speak about a few things. I know I don't have as much time, and I still want to have my colleagues here. But to our young ones, congratulations. I know it has taken time to be here. And I know the process that we go through when you are being selected, when you do your class 8 exams, and you demonstrate the power of resilience and what determination can bring for you to pass, for you to be selected. And this is your second year in the secondary education that you are going to. But of course, another couple of years by the time you do your exam. I'm excited to see the chaperones who are here. I know you have interacted with them quite enough for them to share their journeys. And I hope you've been attentive for the few days you've been here and the repeated programs that we keep doing every year. But I want to say and just highlight the uniqueness of what you have and the uniqueness about yourself and yourself as an individual. The world keeps changing, and you are in a very lucky stage where you talk about globalization, not just from trade, but also from information, that you can access any information globally. But of course, there is much that you need to articulate to yourself to become winners. You all have the capabilities of being the best in your final exams and getting to the best universities and going through the journeys that I've just described. And you don't have to copy Samuel's journey, which started in 1998. But your journey starts now in 2025. I'll highlight a key things that just, in addition to the many things that you have heard this week, hoping that you have written them down. I know you are requested to come with books, and don't just go and pile those books back in school, but keep referring them too. As you learn, one critical thing is how human beings learn. Human beings learn by what goes into their mind. And I keep talking about how to take care of your mind. We read, we see, we admire people who are coming here. You'd admire your chief guest, Dr. Ruth Kagia. I keep requesting that I want to be just 10% of her when she rolls out her bio on her exposure and what she has done. And that gives us motivation, again, to what we can do, which is more or less what we are feeding in our mind. And it's very key to keep that. And I got an article I said I'll read for you that as you learn, absorb, and grasp, you must bring your own uniqueness, because that is what brings innovation. And the article says that we add little as mere clones of one another. And you are all unique in the 1,000, and I don't know what number, that you are here. And our true contribution comes from a deep singularity. Your individuality and particularity will be the place from which your unique contribution flows. And you have been granted the privilege of advanced education. What you are doing now, you should indeed accept the challenge and responsibility of developing your originality. Society advances not just through propagation, but also through innovation and even insurgency. I'm trying to appeal to you to develop your own unique brand that rides on innovation as you learn, as you see from us. And strategically, when we mimic, we degrade. We concede that we are not quite good enough, that others are better. When we engage in parroting, tread-tailing, we are just repeating what's already done, riding on what's already moving, and our lives become one long karaoke act, performing songs already done by others. At a personal level, there is great psychological advantage in keeping to yourself and to your uniqueness. Inordinate pressure to be like others is a huge mental burden to carry in our lives. It keeps us trapped in a comparison game and a wild goose chase in which we can never be quite good enough. Sameness seduces because it promises safety and steals peace. Live by comparison and your victories tastes like someone else's recipe. The relief in keeping to yourself is not a swagger, it's a weight off the shoulders. When you switch from ranking to making the noise lowers, the day feels yours again. I'm trying to appeal to you to become a unique being. As you learn from ourselves, you don't clone to become ourselves. But the other two areas I want to highlight in about, other than the mind, because I'm talking to how your mind can be innovative. And the other one I normally speak about is how you take care of your soul. We all believe there is God. We've all grown and seen God's masses in the societies we come from, and it's always good to be at peace with our soul. And some of the values we've been learning is connecting back to the society and developing unique value propositions for yourself and individuals that has great impact in the mission we have in this earth. So I want to speak about you taking care about your soul. And lastly, I'm very particular at your age on how you take care of your bodies, because the demand and the pressure and the exposure to information can also mislead, and your body becomes not worthwhile to lead the key example, despite you requiring your body, again, to see through the intent that you have. Drug abuse, sexual immorality at your age, and name it, has gone to all levels that we see. And those areas are also innovating. Keeping to yourself and finding your unique part in a very volatile, what you call dynamic world, that every day there are new innovation going in those areas, becomes very, very key. And I want you to take note of those areas that I've highlighted, in addition to what you're going to listen and hear. And I encourage you that those are among the many inputs that you can have and have a very successful life in your school. I heard the county director talking about the support to your teachers. You should be the role models in your class, because you have had the privilege of listening to all the great speakers who have been with you. Most of the other students who are not here have not had that privilege. You must ask yourself, how unique will you be? You received God's favor through this program. How do you give it back to the society? How do you scale yourself in your school? I hope the principal in Alliance says, because of these kids of Erimu and Wings to Fry, the character of the whole school changed, because these kids could be able to influence, speak, and become role leaders in their areas. That's the dream. And then you keep impacting the values and the key areas that you learn from this. So, chief guest, allow me to introduce the management team, and I'll allow them to come here kindly. It will be good. The management team from Equity Group Foundation, Equity Group Holding, and Equity Bank Kenya Limited. We've all participated greatly in the lives of these young ones, so it will be good if you come. And chief guests, because there are not many, if you allow, I'll just give them a mic to say their name, say what they do, and if they spend a minute is enough even to give a bit of a bio for this young one. They don't have to crown, as I said, but it would be good encouragement. Some of why we are here is we listen to somebody at our age. So Collins, want to go?
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Collins Wanyonyi. I take care of SME banking for Equity Bank Kenya. And one encouragement I'll give you is I am where I am because I went to school. Because the first benefit I got, the first question I was asked is, what is your level of education? So I'll encourage you to look at education quite intensely, because it will unlock quite a lot of opportunities. But I'll also add that education is not the only item that you have to do, because there are items that you'll be able to achieve outside education. So you'll combine education with other co-curricular activities that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Collins.
Thank you very much, our GCOO. My name is Mark Sam Luswata. I come from Uganda, Kampala. It's an honor to be here. I am the Associate Director for Digital Financial Services Risk and Controls. It's really an honor, and I feel privileged to be here and to share one word with you, and that is that you've been chosen. You do not have to look at this moment or stumble into this moment like any other. This moment is a moment you need to step in with purpose. Our COO talked about uniqueness. There are almost 8 billion, over 8 billion people on the world, on this continent, rather on this, in our world. But none of those people can share a DNA. So God created you for a reason. And as you sit in this situation, as you stand in this moment, remember that you've been chosen and set apart. And the word tells us in Job 20:28 that you will decree a thing and it shall be established. Remember to declare the truth about yourself that God has spoken in your life. I bless you and wish you the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We continue keeping it short so that everybody gets a chance.
Yes, yes. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here. My name is Mwende Kausia. I'm the finance director for the bank. And I was telling Sam that you gave me a chance to be at Alliance. So I'll say today that I've been to Alliance because this is my first time here. What I would say is we have a chance now to make an impact in the world. So not about knowledge, but what we do with it. Act with integrity, act with empathy, and show concern for one another. And I wish you well, and we are here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, dear students. I hope you're all well today, and I hope you're feeling very proud of yourselves. My name is Mavish Malik. I'm the Associate Director for International Trade Relations. I come from a slightly diverse background. I've worked in the diplomatic space for nearly 20 years, so this is my first time working in the private sector. But I'd like to stop here and give 3 points which I think you should all think about. Number 1, the sky is the limit. Number 2, ambitions and dreams have no boundaries. And number 3, hard work and resilience really does pay. So dear students, stay focused, work hard, and I'm sure you will be able to achieve what you dream of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irene Miru. I am the Group Director of Enterprise Project Management Office. I'm truly, truly humbled. I think for me, what I want to say is if you look around the room, it's actually evidence that it doesn't matter where you come from because you're proof that actually greatness exists in all of us. I look around and I see my young self. I left the country at the age of 17, went to the United States to study, but I had big dreams. What I'm going to tell you is believe in yourself. Don't let where you come from, what you've been through, or fear or poverty, drive the decisions you're going to make in future. But one key thing about believing in yourself, you have to have discipline. Let discipline be your foundation. Yeah? As the county commissioner said, focus. It's not the season to make friends or to feel like you need to be liked. The fact that in this room, you're part of this program, you're worthy and you're good enough. So don't let your background be your limit. I want to tell you one thing. You're part of this program. The sky is not your limit. This is just the beginning of touching that sky. So I wish you well. May the Lord keep you and bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole Dow, and I am the Group Director of Brand and Global Communications. And I am truly honored to be with such a talented group such as yourselves today. I grew up in an environment where there was a very high premium placed on education. It is something that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. That being said, the learning process never stops. And if I could give you one piece of advice, it is to continue to embrace every opportunity to learn. We learn something new every single day, and to take that knowledge and put it to good use is something that is very important. So I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and remember, never stop learning.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sionita Avery, and I am the Group Director in Insurance, dealing with claims and financial lines. I'm from South Africa, and The one thing that I'd like to say to you and that I hope that you will take with you is it doesn't matter where you go, as long as you stay true to who you are, as long as you surround yourself with people that are the same in their way of doing and thinking, in their way of accepting and getting through challenges, you will not fail. You have in this room a group of young people that have the opportunity to take not just your country, but our continent to the world, to go show them how amazing we are and how innovative we can be. So go out there, take those wings, fly as high as you can, and be proud of everything that you've achieved so far, bearing in mind that it is only the beginning. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Martha Oyigo. I am a General Manager at the Equity Group Foundation under the Equity Leaders Program. Now, I'll be waiting to receive you in the Equity Leaders Program when you transition from high school education. Particularly, those ones will get an A and A minus at the pre-university internship. And for those ones who will be interested in joining global universities under the Global Universities Program. And finally, those ones will be interested to join national universities under the Chapters Network. Thank you very much and all the best.
Good morning. My name is Harold Mate. I'm the Associate Director, Food and Agriculture. And in my mind, I think to you, young leaders, what is important is discipline and focus. You've been given an opportunity by the Equity Group to actually exploit your potential. But if you become indisciplined, then that potential cannot be exploited. In high school, and I think, is the greatest platform that makes or breaks your life. If you're able to master yourself at the high school level, there is nothing you cannot conquer. So it's to encourage you that you have a good platform, you have big support around you, of people who are willing to work with you. So stay focused. Your studies are your best friends right now. So it's a good thing to have you here, and we continue to work with you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to be with you. My name is Jack Musali. I'm from Uganda, and I'm so privileged to be here. I am the Group Director for Human Capabilities Development, and I want to share 3 words with you. Will you join me in saying them? The first one is opportunity. Say opportunity. You've heard this word many times, but the thing about opportunity is when you receive an opportunity, you must seize it. So I want to encourage you to seize all the opportunities that you're going to receive. The second one is transform. Say transform. When you seize the opportunities that you're being given, you want to transform into the kind of person that you have to become to reach your dreams. And the last one is ownership. Say ownership. Ownership. If you don't take responsibility for yourself and do the actions that will get you where you want to go, you won't go there. So 3 things: opportunities, seize them; transform, become the person that you can become; and finally, take ownership. I'm so proud of you, and I'm rooting for you.
Good morning. My name is Mercy Maina. I'm here representing the General Manager of Nairobi West Region, the region that is hosting you for this Congress. My words to you is that you are not here just by chance. You are here because it's an opportunity that has been, first of all, given to you by God, and then by Equity Group Foundation, so that you shine for your community and for this country. So mine is to encourage you. Please take everything, every word that has been said to you in this Congress, and we are looking up upon you so that you'll be the future leaders of this country. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. And before you sit, give them a hand of clap, please. How many of you are thinking, I would like to become like them? All of you. And you had how many nationalities? I was just trying to count and I hadn't. There are people from Kenya, myself, Joanne, Corin's here, Mwende, Irene, Harold there. There are people from, which other country do you hear? Uganda? South Africa? Uganda? There are some who didn't mention. Nicole, you didn't mention where you come from. Which your nationality? US? Seonita? South Africa? Mavish? Kenya? Mavish, Kenya? So, what does it mean? And oh, she's not Kenyan? Okay, they are doubting. She's Kenyan. But what it means, and just before while they are here, our chief guest just a minute, is that all these directors and colleagues, including Dr. Joanne, one thing they excelled in the academics. Do you think they would be here if they've never excelled in academics? They would not. So they did what? They excelled. So the first thing that you have to do is to excel. And Dr. Joanne in the foundation has done a very successful program that the students under this program, the pass rate is very high. So don't disappoint in terms of excelling. After excelling, they did an interview. How did they pass? They were unique because there are also other people who went to school with them, isn't it? So if there were 10 people being interviewed, for them to win, they must have had something unique about them, isn't it? And the innovation. So you must work on that. But they'll also tell you the reason they have been in one equity brand because they are spread over is because they have very good values. And values are very key. Some of the things that you learn from this exercise that you do. So as you go back, think about that, ensure you emulate them, and they will always be here for you. And Dr. Joanne, thank you very much with your team from Foundation. And our chief guest, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to have a session with the young ones. Thank you very much. You can take it.
Okay, please let's give one more hand of applause and appreciate the team from Equity Group. Okay, thank you very much, colleagues. Thank you very much again, our guests, for the patience and the indulgence. Yeah, as we proceed, we remain very grateful as well for our partners who have continued to make this program very successful, all the way from the grassroots in terms of the selection committees. We have the scholar champions, we have the branches, and all the way up to our implementing partners and even those who actually offer the scholarship. So we remain very grateful, and even those who are present today to grace this function. We appreciate all our guests that have seen to the fruition of the program. To date, the MasterCard Foundation, even represented today, we have the Gates Foundation, who are an incoming partner and continued partner of the foundation. World Vision, and even others in absentia today. We remain very, very grateful for our partners. They're the ones that have allowed this work to be able to scale to the point where we are today. So at this time, it gives me immense pleasure and honor to introduce our chief guest this morning, who will be speaking to us. Dr. Ruth Kagia is a board member with Equity Group Foundation, as well as Equity Bank Kenya. Dr. Kagia is very passionate about education. She's a globally recognized leader in international development with over 35 years experience leading and delivering transformative policy solutions in Africa and beyond. We know Dr. Ruth Kagia as a former chief of staff and head of presidential policy and strategy delivery unit at the Office of the President in Kenya. Beyond that, She's also had a 23-year stint tenure working at the World Bank, where she rose to become the Global Director of Education and Country Director for Southern Africa. Within that initiative at the World Bank, she led multi-billion-dollar investments in human development, launched groundbreaking initiatives such as the Global Partnership for Education, which has been an anchor partner within this program that we've been running in education, and the EFA Fast Track Initiative and steered complex economic and social development programs in fragile and emerging markets. Yeah, she's got a very rich CV. Her current and previous roles within the board and of course outside equity as well reflect what I've indicated, a very deep commitment to education, governance, and equitable development. She serves as an advisor for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has done that, on the advisory committee of the Yeadon Prize, which is a global prize that focuses on education development. And that prize, the Yeadon Prize, has been described as the Nobel Prize for Education. Of course, for all of us, we look up to Dr. Kagia as someone we all aspire to be. She holds a doctorate in strategic leadership from the Commonwealth University, a master's in education from the Harvard University, and a BA in education as well, right here from the University of Nairobi. She's contributed to numerous global publications on education, economic development, development strategy, and others. So I have the distinct honor today to be able to introduce Dr. Ruth Kagia, and allow me then to call up our chief guest, Dr. Ruth Kagia, this morning.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you warm in spirit, even if you are not warm in body? It's good to be here. I start on the protocols that have been observed. Please sit down. I welcome you all to this 16th Regional Education and Leadership Congress. I stand here this afternoon on my behalf, as has been introduced by Dr. Joan, but more importantly, representing Dr. James Mwangi, who is so fantastic at igniting these kind of gatherings, but could not do it today because of travel. So I'm privileged to represent him as we get together to get to know one another, to share ideas, to have discussions about where we are headed, and to forge a united vision of our future together, a future that we are all going to be part of shaping. In the spirit of networking, I want to introduce colleagues who are here with me, because it is through those networks that you build over the years, starting from the years that you are in high school here, that you sharpen your mind, that you grow communities, that you raise your ambition, that you transform societies. I'm using adjectives that were used by the management team as they introduce themselves. So before I go further in my remarks, let me introduce 4 individuals from my network, so to speak. Starting with my friend and colleague, Ambassador Kamau Macharia. Ambassador Macharia and I go back a long way. We first worked together in 1986 at UNICEF. Don't look at our faces, we are not that old. At UNICEF, and got into international development from that time. And Ambassador Macharia went on to grow in the UN system and was basically the architect and the person who wrote the Sustainable Development Goals are from the UN. He then came back home and was the permanent principal secretary for foreign affairs in President Kenyatta's government, and currently serves with me on the Equity Foundation board. So when I talk about networks, networks go beyond friendships. Networks go into nurturing ideas and together making a greater, a simple idea from one individual become great and to grow. Ambassador Macharia, please say, speak to the children.
Well, I didn't realize I'll be speaking so soon. But thank you very much, Dr. Kagia, my dear sister Ruth. I actually have a real sister called Ruth, and whenever I'm sending emails, they end up with her. So let me take a minute just to say this is not the first time I've had a chance to speak to this wonderful, wonderful group of children who have gone through this process. I've heard so many deep things that have been said, I'm not even going to try to repeat them. So I'll leave you with maybe 2 words, if I may. Love. Love. You'll be told so many great things, so many powerful things. But if you don't understand self-love, if you don't understand loving yourself and loving those around you, my friends, all your education, all your learning, all your genius, because you're all very smart people, that's why you're here, will not be of any help to you. You'll be a danger to the world because you don't love yourself. And the other word I will leave with you is integrity. You've heard it before. People who love themselves have a lot of integrity. They do things well. They do things because they are good to do, not because they are told to do. Yani wanajituma. Tutasema kwa Kiswahili. Hawangojei nini? Kutumwa. Wenyewe wanajituma. So my dear kids, learn to love yourself. If you don't understand that you're beautiful, you will not create beautiful things in this world. You'll create things that have no beauty at all. Mtakaa tu hivi hivi mnavyojiona. Believe me when I tell you that this world needs a lot of love right now. A lot of understanding, a lot of celebration of humanity. Don't see somebody and judge them. Don't say Mavish is not Kenyan. Ati sijui ana sura ya aina gani. When you left your village, everybody looked like you. When you came to Nairobi, everybody looked different. Mkienda Ulaya na mtakwenda Ulaya, everybody will look different. But some of them will look like you. Don't judge. Just love and accept. Na Mungu atawabariki. Si ndio? Please remember to love yourselves first. A lot of young people are doing self-harm, wanajiumiza. They're destroying their lives. They're destroying the lives of their loved ones because they have no self-love. You can have all the education in the world, lakini usipojipenda, ukiangalia kwa kioo asubuhi, usipopenda huyo mtu ambaye yuko kwa kioo hicho ambaye anakuangalia wewe, you're not going to get very far in your life. Sawa? Mujipende. Nyote ni watu wazuri, watoto wa Mungu. Alhamdulillah. Mungu abariki.
Very wise words, thank you. Then I'll introduce Saburu Ashiko. who is the regional manager for Gates Foundation, just to greet the students.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruth Kagia. The first thing I'll say is when Madam Ruth reached out, inviting me for today's event, she made it clear that no was not an option. Anybody who knows Dr. Ruth Kagia will know that it's completely impossible to say no to her. So I immediately say yes, and I was really looking forward to today's engagement. The more important reason why I also said yes was because the Wings to Fly program is a program that I've followed over the years, and I feel very, very strongly and passionately about this program. The structure of the program, the way Wings to Fly goes about identifying the neediest of students across the country, from the four corners of the country, is something that resonates very deeply with my personal journey and my personal story. I wanted to leave you with one reflection as our scholars today. I'm addressing our scholars. We all have a story. All of us have a story. My personal story starts with being admitted into SOS Children's Villages at the age of 2. How many of us are familiar with SOS, the organization? Okay, the adults in the room seem to be familiar with it. For our scholars out there, this is an opportunity to reach out and learn about SOS Children's Villages, one of the largest child welfare organizations globally. SOS essentially takes care of orphaned, destitute, abandoned children. So I was admitted into an SOS facility in Mombasa, effectively because our parents passed away at that early age. I started off by saying, all of us have a story. One reflection I wanted to leave you with is, know your story, embrace your story, and honor your story. Knowing your story is about finding the foundations in life that ground you and anchor you. Because as you go through this journey called life, our scholars, there will be all manner of temptations. There'll be all manner of influences, even distractions. It is knowing your story that's going to keep you grounded, knowing where you come from, and knowing your direction of travel, where you're headed to. Embracing your story, I think it was Irene who touched on it, is about not finding shame in your background and your story, and rather finding strength and resilience in your story. And honoring your story is about understanding your life purpose, why you do what you do. Madam Ruth Kagia mentioned that today I serve as the regional representative for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Used to be known as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Today is simply known as the Gates Foundation. This is the foundation that, as many of you would know, was founded by Bill Gates, somebody who found great success and fame in the world of technology, innovation, and later in life decided to essentially pivot away from Microsoft and dedicate his time, energies, and vast wealth to philanthropy. So giving back. And it's connected to all of us finding ways to honor our story. And so today, my role is to work with colleagues at the Gates Foundation, work with partners right across the world, including in countries like Kenya, to find opportunities for lifting up communities through programs in health, in education, agriculture, financial inclusion. And I'm delighted to mention that Equity Group is one of the partners that we've worked very, very deeply with and will continue to explore ways of working deeply with. Madam Ruth Kagia, thank you very much for today's invitation. And I look forward to watching our scholars as they go through their very exciting journeys in life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saburu. Yeah, we all want to hear your story. We all want to see you honor your story. Sitting next to Saburu is my colleague Belaya Dise, and next to him is Sohe. Both of them work with the Global Partnership for Education, and Bele will tell us just a little bit about that as he introduces himself and introduces Sohe. Bele.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kagia. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for the invitation. I want to start by congratulating these young people for being part of this program. Congratulations. I also want to, congratulating you not just for being selected, but also for earning being part of this program. I also want to congratulate the government of Kenya, the Equity Group and other partners for running such an effective program. I think it's really one of the models in education development. I come from the organization called Global Partnership for Education, for which Dr. Kagia is our high-level special envoy. Perhaps that's the only thing missing from her introduction. She's doing this not just at the Kenya national level, she's also pursuing education at the global level. So Global Partnership for Education is an organization that is set up by partner governments in developed world and developing countries to give access to quality education for young people such as yours that did not have, that are not getting the opportunity to get similar exposure. Traditionally, we have done promoting education, improving quality using funds mobilized from the developed world, largely from Europe and America. Lately, we have come to realize that that's a good thing to do, but it's not enough, and it may not even be sustainable. So we have realized the power of working with the private sector and foundations to raise funds from within the continents, from within Africa, from within Kenya, and make development sustainable, locally owned engagement. So I'm primarily here to learn how this model works and how we can replicate it in other levels of education, or where possible, how we can scale it up within Kenya and beyond. So that's my objective. It's primarily to learn this model. But my main message to young people, to members, to beneficiaries of this program is, please don't take it for granted. This may look ceremonial, but as you leave the room, set an objective. Having had the opportunity to interact with these executives from Equity Group and special people on the high table, set an objective for your career. I want to become a CEO of this organization. I want to become a doctor. I want to become whatever, and work towards that. When I was at your age, I never had the opportunity to interact with such a group. It's just a school in a rural Ethiopia in the middle of nowhere, and no role model. I'm the second in the family to graduate from a university, so not that many people to look up to and to benefit from their guidance. So please take advantage of this scheme. It's not ceremonial, it's more than a ceremony. Pick something as you leave the room and work towards that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, all. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Ruth Kagia, for this invitation as well. My name is Sohe Bike. I work under Belai at the Global Partnership for Education, covering our work in Kenya. So for me, it is very special and a real privilege to be here. As the GPE, as you can see on one of the banners, the Global Partnership for Education, along with the World Bank, has been working with the Ministry of Education to learn from the Equity Group Foundation and to learn from the success of the Wings to Fly program and to expand that into the Elimu Scholarships program. So along with those other colleagues, we've been to Taita Taveta, to Kakuma Kalobei, over the last 2 years, many other places in the country, meeting Elimu scholars. I wonder whether some of you we might have met along the way. And it is really wonderful to come here and see and hear the stories of the genesis, the beginning of all this, as the group CEO said, and how and why, how we have landed here today. So for me, I have not been to a congress before. I have not been to a big gathering such as this, so I thank you very much, Dr. Kiegia, for the invitation. But I have met Elimu scholars and have been thoroughly inspired by their hard work in many schools across the country. I have seen you guys thrive in your schools, become heads of teams, heads of schools, and just do amazingly, amazingly well in all the schools you go to. So I think my word for you is to say that, to acknowledge and to remember that you are pioneers. We were talking about innovation as the theme for today. You are actually pioneers, and you mustn't forget that you are pioneers. I know that sometimes in life you may feel a bit discouraged, you're not sure, but you must remember the day when you heard about this thing called Wings to Fly. Somebody mentioned it to you, somebody might have suggested you apply, you applied, you were a bit nervous, you went through the selection process, you were a bit nervous again, and then you heard that you were selected and you said yes. And don't forget that moment of achievement, because it's that moment of achievement that has brought you to where you are now and that will continue to take you forward. So please, whenever you feel a bit discouraged, remember that you were selected, that you earned it, as Bilal said, and that you deserve to be here, and that you will once again do well because you are pioneers. So please continue to self-love, as was said earlier, and also encourage yourself, because you are going to do very, very, very well. And we can only, as we look at the alumni from Wings to Fly over the years, we can only hear good stories. And so we look forward to the days when we'll hear about your own success. I'm wondering whether I should take the autograph of some of you here, because you are going to do so well. So I will consider it an honor that I am here in your presence. So thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you very much. And that's the power of networks, because they broaden our reach. You don't realize how blessed you are to have an opportunity to interact with people from across the world so early in your careers. And I hope that this raises your ambition and this makes you want to excel so that you can do even better than they have done. Before I close this introductory segment, I just want to introduce two people who are part of the Wings to Fly alumni. Daniel Patrick. Where are you, Daniel? Come here, Daniel. Daniel actually studied across here at Alliance High School and got 78 points. Let's clap for Daniel. And now he is at Ashesi University. Can you say hello? Tell us what you're doing at Ashesi University.
Thank you. Good, this is good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daniel Patrick Moigai. I am a former Wings to Fly and ELP scholar. In fact, Dr. I was in the inaugural Wings to Fly class of 2011. I am Kibaki's firstborn. We were part of that group that graduated in KCPE in 2010. And it's a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to be back home. Home because of the family, of friends and community that I met and made during my time here. I long graduated from university, as you can tell. Right now I am an analyst in corporate bank at Citigroup, and we just manage relationship with our corporate clients. One thing I would like to point out here is just to echo what Ambassador Kamau has said about love. I mean, when you love yourself enough to know that you deserve to be here, that you earned your place to be here, to love yourself, like Roosevelt said, to know that you're the man in the arena, you need to own it. Thank you so much, Dr. And whenever you get an opportunity as Wings to Fly scholars, get to know each other. I think one of the outstanding impact of this program is is the community of friends you build from here. You can imagine to this date that I am still in touch with most of the scholars and friends I made here, most of whom we've gone on to do great and beautiful things in life, and we are still in touch. This is a family you will never get over or outgrow, because you are young, and these networks will really come through for you later in life. It's so much pleasure to be here, and I have so much to say. I will get another chance when you can interact. Yes, please.
What did you study in university?
I did economics, and I majored mostly in statistics.
Where did you go to university?
I studied at Ashesi University back in Accra, Ghana. Yeah.
And what are you, where in Citibank are you working now?
So I work, thank you. I work at Citibank in Upper Hill as a relationship analyst in corporate bank. So what we do basically as a relationship analyst is basically provide support for the relationship managers in managing corporate relationships with corporate clients across East Africa. Yeah.
Well done, well done.
Thank you so much.
The sky is the limit, guys.
Indeed, thank you.
And finally, I want to introduce Drake Kufuafua. He went to Nairobi School. He got an A with 84 points, and then studied Amherst College in the US, Massachusetts. Come and tell us a little bit about yourself. He's now with Goldman Sachs.
Hello. My name is Drake Kufuafua. So many important people here. Thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to do the one thing I'm going to advise you to do, to network. I'm going to talk to some people before I leave. So please network. I was not a Wings to Fly scholar, but I'll tell you one beautiful thing about Wings to Fly is that all my best friends right now, 10 years later or so, are Wings to Fly scholars, alumni. So across the journey, when I left Nairobi School, was called into the Equity Leadership Program, and then applied to go abroad to the leadership program with scholars like you. Finished school, graduated, and started working in New York as a software engineer. One thing I realized is you have to dare to dream, and the program taught me this. You have to dare to dream alone. And then you meet people along the way who are dreaming like you are. That's why you need to network. And that's what I did, and it has led me to be here in front of you again, and also benefit from from the beginning of the journey again. So thank you. That's all I need to say. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Did you hear all the things that he has done as part of the Equity Leadership Program? Congratulations. The sky is the limit, guys. One more, because I realize those who are young men, I want a young woman. Maureen Muthoni. She went to Shinga Girls School, and then went to the Africa Leadership Academy. Tell us what you are doing as a software engineer.
Good afternoon. My name is Maureen Muthoni Murugi. I studied at Shinga Girls High School. So when I finished Form 4, I didn't get an A- or an A plane. I joined TVET, and I did a diploma in electrical engineering. Then I was exposed to the ELP program, and I had the opportunity to apply to global scholarships. I got a scholarship in Africa Leadership University, and I'm taking software engineering. Yeah.
How far are you?
Next month, I'll be joining my second trimester, first year.
First year?
Yeah.
So how long is the program?
3 years.
So 2 more years?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Thank you, thank you. As you can see, there are many paths to success. But what all those paths have in common, in addition to the many things that were mentioned, integrity being one of them, is excellence. You've got to excel. Whatever you do, you must do well. I didn't mention that I'm actually an old girl from this school. And when I was sitting here, thinking of my years at Alliance Girls, what I remembered was not the mathematics or the geography or the history specifics of what we learned. It is the friendships that I formed during those years. It is the values that we developed during those years. It was the ambition that was instilled in us, making us feel that the sky was the limit. Because coming together from across the country, it was a relatively small school at that time, we dreamed, we had big dreams, and we felt nothing could stand in our way. And over the years, many of us have fulfilled those dreams. Mine is simply to say, even before I make the formal remarks, that history is not destiny. Where you come from does not define what you will become. It doesn't matter whether you come from a poor family, from a disruptive family environment, or from a wealthy family. What matters is what you do with your story. And talking of stories, and I'm a big storyteller, when I was ready to go to primary school, to start grade 1, my mother could not afford to pay the school fees. The school fees was 20 shillings, but she didn't have it. So what she did is she sent me to her sister's house. Her sister was married to the headmaster of a local school near where we used to live. And I would take care of my auntie's babies in the morning and then go to school in the afternoon. And I stayed with them for 3 years, partly as a nanny, partly as a student. And then, as they say, the rest is history. You do not have to go and work as nannies. Equity Foundation has come to your aid and given you full scholarships. As the pastor said, you've been chosen to be trained. And what we want to see is that at the end of that training, you justify the huge investment that has been made for you and through you, partly by the foundation, partly by your communities. This year's theme is the innovation generation, igniting ideas, creating impact is up there. And that theme I find very energizing because it reminds us that we are not merely observers in a rapidly changing world. We are the architects and the inheritors of that future. It is very easy these days to look at the hopelessness among young people. There are no jobs. You know, friends, family members who have graduated from the university have been sitting at home, they can't find a job. You look around you and you see the suffering in your communities, whether it is suffering from illnesses, suffering from a lack of economic opportunities. It is very easy to sit back and say, where does our future lie? What is going to happen to us? What is the point of struggling and working so hard in school? I would like to turn that around and say, you are the shapers of that future. As somebody once said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So, with you, select few, and you've been selected from over 1 million young people who did their KCPE, and only a few of you were selected. We want you to be part of inventing a better future. We want you to be a part of making Kenya more hopeful. We want you to be a part of making Africa become an important part of the global power equation. We want you to be a part of making the world a better place. And you do this through innovation, where you turn your ideas into practical solutions that transform lives. Innovation is what drives humanity forward. Innovation flourishes under strong leadership, and we are blessed in Equity, a group, to be led by one of the greatest visionaries of all time, Dr. James Mwangi, who saw Equity not just as a building society, which it was, not just as a bank, which it became, but into an engine of transformation that can bring together groups such as yourselves and many other groups over the last 16 cohorts that have gone through this program, to begin to nurture them and to support them to become the transformers of tomorrow. That's ultimately what innovation is about. Why does innovation matter? It matters because it's the engine of progress. It matters because it challenges outdated systems and replaces them with smarter and more efficient solutions. As I make that statement, I look back on just a few years ago when we had only landlines for telephones. And if you wanted to make a call, you had to go to a call box, and you'd be lucky if it was working. And now, just a couple of decades later, we all have cell phones, and it's so easy to communicate. That's innovation for you. You look at how we used to queue for hours to pay our telephone and electricity bills. Now, in the confines of your home and a click or two away, you can pay your bills electronically because banking and payment systems have become electronic, and so on and so forth. And innovation does not necessarily have just to be technological. It is doing things differently, and I'll come to that in a little while when we look at health. But becoming a successful innovator requires more than a great idea. It demands purpose, resilience, and the ability to lead with vision. And all the speakers before me kept mentioning important attributes of an innovator: ambition, excellence, discipline, and integrity that makes you worthy. All those are not cliches. All these are the building blocks towards making you a change maker. And an innovator has purpose and vision. I'm sure all of you are sitting here and feeling like, oh, these are big words. But you saw those three young people who were sitting where you were sitting a few years ago. You saw Mr. Kirubi, who is now running Equity, and he was sitting where you were sitting a few years ago. There's no reason why you can't do that and more, because there are many more opportunities now than there were during Mr. Kirubi's time. There are many, many more opportunities now than there were during my time or the time of Ambassador Kamau. So the sky is the limit. History, your background, is not your destiny. Your destiny is how you define it. And what Wings to Fly has done is literally given you wings. When you get wings, you fly. You don't continue sitting down. The question is, how high do you want to fly? In which direction do you want to fly? And for what purpose are you flying? If I just get up and take my wings and go, I could go to Kisumu, I could go to Mombasa, or I could just remain here in Kikuyu. Where do you want to fly to? And you are blessed because a meeting such as you have in yesterday, today, and tomorrow begins to help you define the direction of travel, the direction in which you're going to use those wings to fly. But ultimately, it is what you do with those wings. Innovation requires value-driven leadership. Leadership is not about the title. It is about action. True leaders inspire others by their commitment, integrity, and vision. Again, you're really blessed to be associated with Equity because you saw those people who are lined here, all those managers are in different parts of Equity. And I think what you saw that is common with all of them is a shared vision to make a difference in an institution. What struck me as the Equity managers were introducing themselves is they don't deal on a day-to-day basis with the Equity Foundation. They deal with real business of the bank, the money aspect of it. But they are here because they recognize that only through capable individuals can the bank grow. Only through empowered individuals can the economy grow. And only if the economy grows can you get the banking sector growing. So they recognize that our actions are interrelated and collectively we can make a difference. The pillars of impactful innovation is building on key foundational principles, which is relevance and advantage. Great innovations significantly improve upon existing solutions, and they are simple and adaptable. Just to give you a couple of examples here, and I don't know whether we have anybody from our tech team. Do you have anybody from our tech team, Mr. Kirubi? I don't see John. They're not here today. Technology is transforming the world, and young innovators like yourselves are leading the way. Through the Tech Apprenticeship Program, the Equity Tech Apprenticeship Programs, which was launched in 2024, 400 young people have gained hands-on experience in groundbreaking fields, such as health tech, ag tech, insurance, and legal tech. These are the industries that are shaping the future and helping us solve our problems today. I hope that maybe during the next Congress, you're going to meet some of those innovators. We met some of them at Tatu City, and they are doing fantastic things. They are looking at simple problems, or rather complex problems, and trying to simplify them. I was struck by two of them, and I'm curious to see how far they have gone. One was very simple. They looked at what happens in churches when they do all the collection on Sundays, and how that money is processed, how it is accounted for, to ensure that the integrity of utilization. And they came up with a very small app to help those in the church to manage the resources more effectively. It may sound simple to us here, but for the church leaders who are grappling with sometimes with corrupt congregants, it's an important intervention. I was also struck by one that was looking at paying Kenya Power with tokens, and how that happens when you're in an apartment building and all the bills come to one account. How do you make sure each apartment is properly billed? Again, it sounds simple, but it is a real problem for the tenants of those apartment blocks. And they're doing a lot of other things in simplifying the banking industry, in simplifying portfolios, and so on. And I hope you get a chance to see what they are doing. So very early days, they are very young. They come together and say, this is a real problem in my community. How do we help solve it? That is what true innovation is about. And under the Tech Apprenticeship Program, over 30 prototypes have already been developed. And it only started a year ago, bringing fresh ideas to life. 150 tech innovators have secured roles within Equity Technology teams, proving that passion and innovation open doors. Through partnership with tech companies like Microsoft, Cisco, and AWS, these young trailblazers are receiving mentorship and funding opportunities to take this forward. It was actually part of the Equity Leadership Program that the problem with the health program, SHA, was resolved. When SHA was initially introduced, there were major technology challenges of how to do the accounting, and it was the Equity Leadership Program graduates that helped resolve it. So we are talking of real life interventions, not out in the US or out in the UK, but right here in our home communities. And that's where it all begins. These stories and many more began with simple ideas and the courage to act. The question now is, what is it that you will create? Another example of what Equity is doing is the Equity Afia program. And we have Dr. Joanne here with me to thank for some of that thinking. Well, again, the question was simple. People are spending all their savings and all the savings of their family and friends to pay for health care. And that health care is not always of good quality. We have all seen it. So the question that Equity asked is, how can we make health care in Kenya and in the region affordable and of high quality? How can we use the expertise that has been developed through the Equity Wings to Fly and the Equity Leadership Program to begin to impact the health sector in a manner that it becomes affordable and of high quality? So Equity Afia was founded to answer this question. But what is amazing and exciting about this? It is led by passionate doctors who graduated from the Equity Leaders Program. Throughout training and mentorship, Equity Foundation has helped them strengthen their skills and empowered them to establish and manage their own clinics while improving health care. So far, 68 doctors from the program have set up 132 clinics across all counties in Kenya and another 5 in the DRC. And the idea is that by 2030, we'll have over 1,000 clinics, making essential medical services more accessible. I don't know how many of you have been to an Equity Afia clinic. I encourage you to go there. It is a very pleasant experience. It's efficient, it's clean, and it is affordable. And the last assessment, which was done about 3-4 months ago, correct me, Chris, if I'm wrong, Equity Afia clinics scored as high as Nairobi and Aga Khan Hospital because you can make access to health care affordable, but also high quality. For many years, we have associated cheap services with poor quality, but Equity is changing that, and it's changing it because of the individuals behind the Equity Afia program, most of whom are graduates of the Equity Leadership Program, who have dared to dream big, embrace challenges, and turn ideas into solutions. You too have the potential to create change. As scholars, you are surrounded by a strong support system, your parents, your communities, your teachers, and of course, the Equity Program. And the mentorship opportunities that you are getting now, and this being one such opportunity, hopefully will equip you with the knowledge and the confidence that will turn your ideas into reality. So this is not just a get-together. This is part of sharpening your tool set. This is part of preparing you for the heavy responsibilities we're going to place upon you as we go into the future, where the challenges are going to be great, but where the opportunities for transformation are also going to be enormous. Let me spend just a couple of minutes on the equity program. In January 2028, I want to see all of you, and I want all of you to come and show me your A or A minus. And you are all going to get A or A minus, correct? It's a promise. Once you score your 80 points or above, Equity Leadership Program guarantees you a job. Equity Leadership Program guarantees you a scholarship, either in Kenya, in Africa, or anywhere in the world. Last week, I believe it was, over 100 students flew across the world to universities across the world to go and start their degree programs with support from the leadership program with full funded scholarships. I believe at this point we have got over 1,000 scholars studying in universities abroad, a few from China, a few in China, South Korea. I noticed there was even one in Slovakia, the UK, France, Europe, we've got maybe about over 100, and the bulk of them in the United States with fully funded scholarships. We saw somebody who went to Amherst a few minutes ago. Again, the sky is the limit. But what defines whether you get that university scholarship, which university you go to, is excellence in performance. Nobody can do that for you. We can support you. You can get your scholarships. You can get the mentorship. But nobody can sit those exams for you. Nobody can do the hard work for you. Only you can do it. But as long as you have the ambition, you get the support. The pastor who prayed with us told us, you are the chosen few. And those chosen few in the Bible, when they were tested, they performed better than the others. That's what we are expecting from you. But you've got to do the hard work, even with the support. And over the past 16 years, you are the 16th group. Equity has supported candidates from the Wings to Fly and Elimu programs, and 82% of them have scored C+ and above. 82%. I believe the comparable figure from the government, the rest of the country, is less than 50%. So you start with a comparative advantage that we want you to harness. Any student who sits here, who attains a grade A and above, as you all promised to do in 2028 January when your results come out, can join the leadership program, the paid internship program, where you earn a monthly stipend. What I find exciting about that is you automatically join Equity, working in various branches and various departments, and Equity pays you a dividend and then saves 50% of your salary to use towards your university education to enable you progress to the university. In 2025, this year, over 750 top-performing KCSE candidates who sat their exams in 2024 are now enrolled into the prestigious Equity Leaders Program, internship, pre-university internship program. and 354 are Wings to Fly and Nalimu scholars. They are training in equity branches across the country for the next 6 months, earning an income and saving towards their university education. These scholars will have the opportunity to enroll in the Global University Counseling Program, and then they'll get full scholarships to prestigious universities. And they'll be part of nearly 1,000 scholars who are currently pursuing education across the world. ELP graduates from these institutions have proceeded to have fulfilling careers in all fields. And we saw the one who was at Amherst now working in a global program. And I'm sure that as we do more of these programs, you get to meet the graduates of these programs. It's amazing to see what intervention at the right level for the right individual can do. This period between 13 and 20 years old is in some ways the most important period in an individual's life. Not only are you growing physically and physiologically and emotionally, but it's also the period when you enter the track. All of you have seen athletics, and you know when athletes are about to start the race, they bend and they say, on your marks. What do they say? On your marks? Get set, go. So where you are now, you are on your marks. And for the next 2 years, it is get set. And by end of 27, it is go. How far will you go? Is it towards an Olympic medal, or is it going to be a disappointment? I have confidence in each one of you that not only are you going to get that gold medal because you have gone, but you are going to become the change makers of tomorrow. That you are going to be the individuals who are going to be the spark that changes this country. Changes the country in terms of economic energy. Changes this country in terms of its values. Where people can look at Kenya as people of integrity, not as people of kitu kidogo. That you are going to become the change makers that changes Africa, not as a continent that is seen through the number of problems and challenges that it has, but as a continent that is driving innovation, that is driving transformation, that is driving a change across the world. As I conclude, and I could talk until tomorrow if you allow me, as I conclude, I wish to remind you that you are part of a generation that holds the power to shape the future. The world is looking to you for solutions, for bold ideas, and for transformative action. Let today begin a journey where you embrace innovation, challenge the status quo, and use your knowledge to make a lasting impact. No dream is too big, no idea is too small. You have the ingredients to become innovators, to become problem solvers, and change makers of tomorrow. The future is yours to shape. Go forth and ignite ideas, create impact, and leave a legacy. And never, ever forget that history is not destiny. Your destiny lies in your hands, and we are here to support you fulfill your destiny. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a hearty clap. Let's appreciate her. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Asante sana. So we want to open up a session for question and answer. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. We'll be happy to answer. But if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. And we'll be happy to answer. A session for question and answer. where we're going to have 2 questions from this side and 2 questions from this side. Sawa sawa? Again, remember you introduce yourself. So any questions, and you can direct them to any members who is seated here. Sawa sawa? Are you ready for that? Good. Question number 1. We have some mics up here. If you also have any question for ELP number 001, Sam Kirubi, feel free to ask him a question. Sawa sawa? Hey, all right? So there's somebody ready? Yes, Fatma, you can go first.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
everyone. I wanted to ask a question to Dr. Ruth there. The level you have reached right now is not easy, and we know. I wanted to ask, before you reached here, have you ever thought of giving up in life, or did you ever face challenges? Thank you.
Somebody else? Thank you, Fatma. Next.
Hello, my
Hi.
name is Immaculate. My name is Immaculate from Tengeta, and I have a question. If you apply for ELP and you get a scholarship, do you choose the university you want to go, or do they choose for you?
All right. So yes, I will get somebody to answer that.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Evans from Karatina branch, school Karima Boys, and I have a question to Madam Dr. Ruth. For you to be a member of the World Bank, which career did you take? And I believe there are some ideas, so which are coming soon. Would you give us a hint, or yeah? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. This side.
Hey, I am Brian Mnene from Maua branch, schooling at Burarure High School. And I remember when we were at school, there is a guy from our school who scored an A of 82 points. And the teacher said that it was very hard for this boy to do medicine because he had scored an C+ in English. So I was asking, what are the consideration of doing, or what should you score in languages for you to do in the field of medicine?
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Mary Ann from Pangani Girls. So my question is on we are talking about igniting ideas and creating impact, but at times you find that the environment we are in, we are limited in terms of resources. So my question is, if you have an idea about changing the world, about a certain problem which is in your community, and you really have the urge to change, but then you are limited in terms of resources and networking because of maybe age and schooling, how can you go about it? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marianne. Next. I think we can take those ones first. Dr. Martha, you should be ready for the question on ELP. Thank you.
Who is answering the one on ELP?
Dr. Martha, we go.
Okay, Martha, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruth. So for the students and for the other students concerning the Equity Leaders Program, Global Universities Program, the moment you get onto the ELP program, we take you through about 8 months, 3 intense months of preparation for you to apply to the universities that you desire and for the courses that you also desire. And then another 6 months where we have you interact with the different universities that offer the courses that you would like across the globe. So yes, you get to choose the course that you would like to. You actually work with mentors who help you to get to understand what the courses are about, what the universities are about, and how to select which country you would like to actually study in. It's actually a very exciting program that I encourage you to all aspire to join. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martha.
I'll ask Ambassador Macharia to answer the one about, have you ever felt like giving up?
Is it Fatma?
Yes,
Fatma. Many times I have felt like giving up. But when you love yourself, the first thing you do is stand up for yourself And you never give up when you love those around you. And you never give up when you love the future. And let me just tell you something. You can talk about a lot of things about the future. But the future you're going to experience is going to be so radically different to anything that you know today. You will not believe it. Most of the jobs you're aspiring for will not be there. Artificial intelligence and generative intelligence would have taken those jobs away. You can't be a driver, there will be autonomous cars. You can't be a pilot, there will be autonomous planes. You might not even be able to be a doctor because the phone, the watch, will be monitoring your health and giving you instructions as you move along. Accountants, insurance, all these jobs are under siege. So of course you're going to feel like giving up because every time you plan for something, you find that the goalposts have what? Have moved. So you have to be resolute. You have to be what? Resolute. Artificial intelligence and generative intelligence will take away everything, like I said, but there are some things that it can never take away. Because even though this phone can do incredible things today, it cannot love me. Neither can it love another phone. Phone is not human. We are humans. And the future that is coming is going to be a future that challenges what it means to be a human being. That's your future waiting for you. So if you're not resolute, Fatma, if you're not determined, ukiona kashida kametoka unaanza kusema hata sikujua kutenda hivyo, acha niache. You're going nowhere. That's why I told you, education will only take you so far. Your intelligence will only take you so far. But your determination, how you are resolute, this will show you the future. Because the future will be unrecognizable to those of us who live today. Unrecognizable. My father, when he used to tell me that he used to find it humorous that between him and his father, they saw the first plane coming, the first car coming, the first train, did I say train already? Yes. All these things that we take for granted today did not exist. When we were in school, none of these things existed. Computers, software as we know it today. So you have to be determined because the only thing that is constant in this world is what? Change. And things will change. What is today will not be there tomorrow. I promise you. Your education that you're learning today is just a foundation. Ni msingi tu. The superstructure of who you will be made by your experience and how you interact with the future. So you have to be resolute. You have to be determined. You have to love yourself. You have to have integrity. And you have to pursue happiness. Because without happiness, it's not worth it. There's nothing here for you. This machine cannot be happy. Naelewa? Gari langu pale nje cannot be happy. Ndege cannot be happy. But you're a human being. Love, integrity, and happiness. These are the constants throughout all time. Hold on to them and be resolute as the challenges come. Sawa Fatuma? Sawa.
In fact, Ambassador Kamau partly answered the other question. he answered the question, which was more specific about how I ended up, what did I need to train for to get into the World Bank? And he has answered that question. I never sat down at any point in my career and said, I want to work at the World Bank. I taught in the classroom, I taught at Nairobi Girls, Girls, I worked at the university, I worked with the President Moi and so on. But I never sort of from one job to the next said, after this, I'm going to be this or I'm going to do this. The common element in everything that I've done, and Ambassador has alluded to that, is one, integrity. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability. If you are sweeping a street, sweep it as clean as it can ever be. With the same level of zeal and excellence as a pilot flying a jet. I never applied to go to the bank. They were looking for change makers. They were looking, at the time I joined the bank, they were looking for people to begin to look at the social elements of education as opposed to only the economics. There was an appreciation that development is more about economic growth. You need people. You need to focus more on the people, even as you focus on economic development. So they looked for people with social sector backgrounds, and with my background in education, to come and begin to change the focus at the World Bank. And I just got a telephone call and ended up joining them. But what they were looking for were people who had made a difference in whatever they were doing. And it goes back to what I was saying in my remarks earlier. Excellence tops it all. If you do things well, there's a way in which you rise. And when people talk about the Equity Foundation cohort 16, very soon we are going to hear Dr. Joan telling us, so-and-so Fatuma or Daniel or whoever is exceptional. That is the person to watch. That is the person to keep an eye on. That's where we want all of you to get to. And you are not going to become the person to support or the person to watch simply because of who you are or where you come from. That is going to happen because of your work, the quality of your work, the attitude of your work. More and more in education, we're talking about 21st century skills. And it is not skills in math and numeracy, important as those are. It is skills such as teamwork, skills such as ability to pull together a lot of information and make sense out of it. These days, you don't have to memorize everything that you need to know. You just type into Google and it will come up. But how you synthesize it, how you use that knowledge, how you apply it, is ultimately what is going to separate those who succeed and those who remain mediocre. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. There was a question about the grades for the medicine. So I'll ask one of the chaperones who did medicine to come and respond to that question on behalf of Dr. Joanne.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Martin, and appreciate that question as well on the grades that you require to be able to study medicine, especially on the languages. So we discussed this yesterday with the scholars, and just to revisit it, we said that whereas if you look at the 10 universities currently that offer the medicine course, they'll tell you that you must have at least a B on your language grades as well as your sciences. But then we also place that in the bigger picture to say how many are aiming towards that, and therefore you really need to be able to push and ensure that you attain a grade much higher than that. So the minimum requirements would be, I'd advise you to go for an A in your languages, as well as a minimum of 2 of the sciences as well. So target the highest, because again, you're up against very stiff competition, especially when you're targeting the medical course. But in terms of what the minimum requirement is that you must have a B on those languages. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I think now we have moved to the next session where we are going to have 2 scholars to speak to us for 5 minutes maximum, all right? So we have Fatuma Jarfa, and then we also have Darren Ochieng. Darren Ochieng should be coming forward, and Fatuma Jarfa kindly. Let's appreciate them as they come. So we'll start with Darren Ochieng from OTC branch, who will be talking to us about something very short. And then Fatuma will be giving a vote of thanks.
Thank you for the chance. Once again, my name is Darren Ochieng from OTC branch. I school at Sawagongo Boys High School. Thank you. So, I'm going to talk about the value of this scholarship, not only to me, but also to the other scholars. Thank you. So, we have leadership skills. So, the program has boosted our leadership skills in the society, school, church, and home. For example, even if you inquire, some of us here have managed to gain leadership positions, even in school, and even in the society. For example, in our school, apart from being a prefect, I am also the head of the journalism and debate club. Empowerment. Thank you. All the scholars have been empowered and nurtured in all areas. We've all been empowered to create new innovative ways to curb different problems like corruption that is really hindering our progress economically and even in other areas in our country and even in the continent. We have exposure. I thank all the stakeholders and this foundation for the exposure that they have given to all of us. Like, for example, we have gone to the university even before time. That is a privilege that we cannot take granted for. Thank you for that. Also, going back, in 2016, from the magazine that we were given, I saw that the scholars of that particular time, they were exposed to the former president of United States of America, Honorable Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton. We also thank you for all that you've done for us. Thank you. And also the give back mindset. We all need to embrace the culture of giving back. Like we can teach in Sunday school with scholars. We can share with our former primary school students different innovative ideas and new skills that we've learned in high school. Last but not least, and also servant leadership. I'll leave you with a quote from the late third president of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Mwai Kibaki, and he said, "Leadership is a privilege to better lives of others, and it is not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed." The last one, and then the advice so that I may leave the podium. Thriving for greater academic performance. Through the scholarship, we get mentored and empowered to perform better academically. The problem is not in failing, but in rising again after failing. So my advice, I will leave the scholars with this. Please, let us all vis-a-vis all we've learned, and I want to assure you, all the stakeholders and the EGF Foundation members at large, that we scholars are promising to follow all we've learned, and we are going to stay focused and will make you proud. So I leave you with a story. So a short story, my story. I was born in 2008 that is the 27th of April 2008. And then when I was born, my father was suffering. I was told that that is diabetes. And luckily or unfortunately, he passed away in 2016 when I was in class 1. I was 8 years old, 2016 August. So I managed to try my best. My teacher would tell me that, Darren, my teacher was like my parent. My teacher was like my parent in school. He would tell me that I should work hard, and even is the one who told me about Equity Wings to Fly. I had no idea about it, and even he helped me. Even in applying for it. In primary, I schooled at an upbeat school down in a slum that is located in Kamkunji. And so, when I was in class 8, like partly of term 3, I was not in school, almost all of it. But when I was at home, I would read this. That was due to lack of fees. But I want to thank and assure the program and all the stakeholders that I'm going to do my best, and I will try my best to give an A+ or an A- in my KCSE 2027. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Well, let's appreciate Darren. Thank you so much, Darren. Fatima, you can come and give a vote of thanks on behalf of the scholars.